Where do I even begin? Wow. Just, wow. I don't even know where to start. Well, I suppose we can start where we usually start most videos, and that's with a hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to our weekly God of High School discussion video. Today, we're here to talk all about episode 7, Anima/Force. But before we get into that, quick reminder to hit that sub button. I'm not starting the video till you do it. Okay, let's start. Okay, so a heck of a lot happened this week, and I really mean that. Like, a lot happened this week, a lot of characters introduced, and now, as you guys know, I'm not talking about the show scene by scene anymore, not because it's anything against the show. I don't talk about any show scene by scene anymore, again, because of my voice box. Gotta keep this thing intact. It's like Exodia, gotta chain it up, otherwise it just unleashes chaos and destroys itself. So, I'm not gonna be going scene by scene, and thank God for that, because honestly, like I said, a hell of a lot happens this week. So I wouldn't even know where to start. We got tons of stuff we gotta talk about in terms of like the narrative. We gotta talk about character designs, because we get like, what is there? There's like there's like 7 different characters introduced this week. It all happens all at once, and it doesn't feel jam-packed somehow. Like, there's so much that happens, but it's only as I was looking at my notes that I was like, oh God, how am I gonna talk about all this? So, very quickly up front, I'm not gonna be talking about the dudes from Nox. I'm not gonna be talking about their character designs. We're gonna talk about that fight. But I'm not really going to go into like a character design time type analysis thing, because, well, mainly because there's 5 different character analysis that we're going to do, and we're going to save that for the end of the video. So if you're wondering where that is, that's why. But without further ado, we got to talk about that first round of Nationals. We got to talk about the first round of our gang versus, I don't remember where the other guys are, but we will call them the Hard-Working Crew. And the Hard-Working Crew be out here putting in the work. And I really like them a lot. And another thing interesting too to note very briefly is I was told that there would be some OP changes. Totally forgot. So when I was watching this week's episode, I was like, right on, yeah, I've been grooving on the OP a lot more. And I had that thought of like, man, I like the OP a lot more than I did at the start. Because y'all know me, as I said at the beginning, not a dubstep guy. Really thought that was a weird decision. But again, given where the show, or rather where the webtoon comes from, like that era of time, of course it was gonna be dubstep. Of course, it fits perfectly well. But it took me a little bit to get used to it. But now every time it comes out, I'm like, just be your contradiction. Like, just hella into it now. But there were suddenly changes in the visuals. The visual department totally shifts. Not completely, I shouldn't say totally, but it does shift to show the new combatants, which I thought was actually a really cool touch. And it does also tell me that Mogo is dead. No, my ship. Oh, well, whatever. But yeah, the OP changes. Characters are replaced with some new combatants and a new announcer, which breaks my heart. My boy Sim did not need to go out like that. Kills me. And Sim's family. That, oh, we gonna table it. We're gonna talk about that. We gotta talk about Mo versus Na, which is a great name, by the way. But yeah, Nagidan, or Gidan Na? I don't quite, one way or the other. Nagidan versus our boy Mo. Mori, because everybody's just like, can you even say Mori? Yes, I can. I just thought Mo was a cute nickname. God damn, get on my back. But yeah, Mo versus Na does not go the way you think. It absolutely does not. Mo seems pretty confident, does this new pressure point move, and gets the pressure points totally wrong, and gets his ass kicked, and he loses the first round. That was surprising. So yeah, Mo versus Na was definitely like a fake out. And I'm kind of here for it, because it's like, oh shit, they took out Mo right in the beginning. So that means Han and our girl Mira really have to push it to the limit to really, you know, outshine the working crew. And they do. They definitely do, because we get to see Han versus Crazy Eyes. Why you calling him Crazy Eyes, JoJo? Just look at my boy Poom. Like, look at my boy Poom. Jin Poom Gung, I believe? Jin Poom Gung. It's written Kwang. And see, this is why we use nicknames around here. Because I feel like I'm butchering a beautiful language. So I believe it is pronounced Jin Poom Gung. This man is a G, by the way. When I call him Crazy Eyes, it's just because his eyes really do look crazy. But this man is a real one. I adore this dude. And the fight that he has with Han is dope as hell. And especially when we see the borrowed power. Let me make this as emphasized as I possibly can. Last week, when PM said, just so you know, everybody going forward is gonna have this like borrowed power, okay? Like just be aware of that. Oh my God, he was not lying. I swear, borrowed power this week is the big new game changer. Like there is borrowed power everywhere this week. I mean, like it is everywhere, and it is dope as hell. Seeing like this man, seeing my boy Crazy Eyes here, seeing my boy Poom go in, it was so dope. Like seeing like the fight with Han, I started rooting for Poom. I was like, what's wrong with me? I started rooting for Crazy Eyes. You wanna know why? Because Crazy Eyes be out here putting in the work, damn it. Like you see him like going, like you see like him like actually trying to go back and get his I guess like high school diploma, because they established pretty quickly that this dude is roundabout, I believe they say he's 38. So you see how like his accelerated age is like noted. It's like, yeah, no, he looks old because he is older. Like he's 38, you know, he's definitely older than the rest of the cast here. Not that 38 is old, but you know what I mean. Like he's older definitely by comparison to the other teenagers in the high school tournament. So yeah, his appearance is definitely like startling, but everything about him, it just strikes me as a character that like you really want to root for. I mean, think about it. The dude is like this blue collar guy wearing a plain white t-shirt. We'll get into that. But this blue collar dude who's just working his ass off, trying his best out there, and that's why we call them Team Working Hard, because they be out here working hard. We see his dynamic with Na, how he like helped Na stop getting into these like daily scraps, and like they have that sort of like, yo, Anaki, like that dynamic, like the Anaki dynamic. I love it. You love to see it. And just in general, Crazy Eyes is just sort of a genuinely good dude, and we see him be good in the way that he takes care of Jang, aka Red Mira, but the way that he takes care of her in as much as like he notes how down in the dumps she is after losing in the middle of her tournament, like way before like a kendo tournament, before the God of High School tournament. And she loses and she like breaks her kendo stick over it. And he says like, geez, look what you did. And she's like, what do you want? What do you know? Blah, blah, blah. And he just explains like, listen, like I was, you know, like I should have given up. Or not that I should have given up. It's that I did give up. And I quit high school. I tried to do a bunch of different things and nothing really stuck. And it brought me to a point where I realized that I can never give up on myself again. And I'll never give up. No matter how difficult I find it to pass, to get my high school diploma, no matter how hard it is, I'm gonna go out there, I'm gonna do it. And that made me go like, yes, dude. Like I am here for Crazy Eyes. Crazy Eyes, this man's working hard. This man be out here with his working man style. That's how he fights. His fighting style is working man style. That is so sick. Like everything about this character I loved to pieces, and his fight with Han is so sick. And the biggest thing, you've probably seen it on screen for a while now, that hammer. Do you know whose hammer that is? It didn't even connect whose hammer that was when I saw it. Like, so he busts out the hammer and he basically says to Han, like, you want me to bring the hammer down? And I was like, whose hammer could that possibly be? Of course, it's Thor's hammer. That is Mjolnir. And Han breaks it. Han breaks Mjolnir with Azure Dragon. That is the coolest thing I've ever seen. And I'm sure people are gonna say like, it's not actually Mjolnir, it's like some other hammer. Just let me have this. I know it probably isn't Mjolnir, but let me have this. The idea of Han breaking Mjolnir, don't tell me that isn't cool to you. Don't tell me that isn't dope as hell. I'm just gonna pretend like it's Mjolnir even if it's not. And honestly, the power swing, like just everything about it, even the way, like if you note, it's like transparent. That's so cool, right? Because it's like, oh man, like I wonder if you don't have access to borrowed power, do you see borrowed power, or does it just look like they're like swinging shit, right? Because it's transparent, so it's meant to show it is otherworldly. Do the other people who don't have borrowed power, do they see that? That's a question for Webtoon readers, unless it's a spoiler, in which case don't tell me. But yeah, Webtoon fans, like, is that noticeable by like the average folk? Let me know, because if they have said, I've totally forgotten. So yeah, I'm not sure, because like it's worth asking, right? But again, I just have to emphasize, because this is so cool. Yet he straight up breaks Mjolnir with Azure Dragon, and my friends, I know that some of you are like, but Mo, I love Mo, but we out here for Han. We out here for 3 dudes right now, okay? We out here for 3 dudes. We out here for Best Boy Han, and we out here for Husbando PM, and new Husbando Commissioner Q. Holy shit. We'll get to Commissioner Q. I got thoughts on Commissioner Q. Keep that between me and you for a couple minutes. Just put that one on the back burner for now. Hot damn. What's wrong with me? But yeah, like the borrow power scene is so sick. Is Azure Dragon borrowed power? Is like I mean I suppose we'll get into it. But yeah, I'm curious to see like who they borrow their power from. Because I don't know. If they already said, I don't know who it is. I know who one of them is because people spoil shit. But yeah, I'm curious to see. I'm so excited to see like the different deities and like I wonder if this could be like if it's gonna go beyond just deities, if it's gonna be like folk heroes and stuff like that. I'm so excited, dude. I'm so hyped for borrow power. It's such a cool idea. And speaking of borrow power too, is not just Han versus Crazy Eyes that we get in the first round. We also get Mira versus Red Mira. We also get Mira versus Jang, and like Mira versus Jang sort of feels like what happens when 2 players pick the same character in a fighting game, so one has to pick like a different costume for that fighter so you can tell the 2 apart. That's sort of what this is like. And again, we'll get into it's not to say that they're like identical character designs or anything, it's just their personalities and their fighting styles very similar, because the character designs are actually very separate. And in fact, Red Mira here, our girl Jang, genuinely had probably my favorite design of the episode, which is saying a lot. We got a lot of cool new designs this week. But yeah, I think Jang has my favorite of the new designs. And what I love is that you see how like even keel the 2 are. Even after Red Mira busts out her borrow power, which looks an awful lot like what was Trunks' like Super Saiyan Rage or whatever from the Future Trunks arc in Super. You know that like Super Saiyan sword thing? It looks a lot like that. And I'm not saying it's a knockoff. This came first, so technically Trunks stole it from Red Mira, but regardless, it's cool as hell, man. Like I loved the way that looked. I loved the fight, and I love that they showed that Mira is a badass, because Mira didn't really get her time to shine all that well. The last time she got a time to shine was in that weird ass wedding episode, which I'm still not a big fan of. But that said, Mira got to be a badass here and puts down the hardworking team and picks up the big W. Like, she's not even worried about that big light sword. She's just like, whatever, I got this. And she does got this. And she does put down the hardworking squad for the count, and they're removed. But what I love is that they hammer home that whole idea of like you don't give up, because Crazy Eyes goes up to Red Mira, and Jang and Pum just have this moment where they just say to each other like, we don't give up here. We just keep trying, and we'll get them next time. And Jang's just like, yeah, we'll do it next time. And it's like, God, yeah, man, I love it. You love to see it. I'd love to see these guys actually stick around, to be honest. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the first fight in round 1. There's another fight in round 1 that we got to get to. But before we do that, oh my God, we got to talk about these new members, the members of Nox, who are crazy. Yeah, this is what I mean when I say that the whole like the whole borrow power thing is going off the charts, because oh my God, it is nuts, dude. Like this fight, I don't even really have a whole lot to say about this scene. I know like I built it up by saying that we gotta talk about Commissioner Q and all the Commissioner stuff, but honestly, there's not really a lot to say. It's just sort of a scene that you're gonna have to trust me on this. It's nuts. It's basically all action, and you see these different abilities in play, and it's especially after like the limiter falls off, right? Like Commissioner Q, who is absolutely a new husbando, after he takes off the limiter, he like goes to town, just destroys that clown who took out Sim. And what I hate is that this fool, not only did this fool kill Sim, which is like, I already missed this dude. You gave him development and then you took him away from me. At least you didn't take away Commissioner Q. But yeah, like, damn it, Park. But you took away Sim and his family. I can't wait to see Sun's reaction to that, because Sun's whole thing was like, the instant you gave Sim a family, you hate to see him go down. And I remember Sun saying like, you gotta protect the family. So I wonder what my boy Sun Woo is gonna think about this week's episode, because man, Sim deserved better. Sim and his family deserve so much better. Man, that's rough, dude. And what's up with the new announcer? Like, the new announcer clearly must be working with Nox, right? Like, clearly, whatever. Yeah, man, it's nuts. So yeah, the new guys, that friggin' fool who took out Sim. You get Exley and Saturn. Those three, especially the fool because he's already gone anyway. So I'm not really gonna go into his design, but Exley and Saturn, I'm gonna save them for another time because we're already going way overtime. We're about to go overtime. I got like 8 minutes left on the timer. We're definitely gonna have to go overtime on this week's video. But I'm gonna save their designs maybe the next time they show up, okay? Hold me to that, because again, I'm sorry, but there's just not enough time to get into everything. This fight was hella cool. There's so much stuff that I'm not mentioning. The biggest thing for me is Commissioner Q and O. That's a ship. That's a ship. I ship it. But most of all, I kind of want Q for myself. As much as I like the QO ship, I kind of want Q for myself. I'm gonna keep Q for myself. I have a type. We have a type. It's okay. We all know this. My question is, who of the viewers, who of the good folks am I gonna have to throw down with for the honor of having Commissioner Q as their husbando? Because I imagine there is a queue to get to Commissioner Q. Get it? Do you get it? There's a queue? Sorry. Okay, let's move on. Yeah, unfortunately, we really do gotta move on. There's a lot to get to, so unfortunately, yeah. Gotta move on. Next thing we gotta talk about. Grandpa Jin's arm is possibly... I totally even forgot to mention that. We gotta talk about Grandpa Jin's arm. It literally... Like, that's not what we were supposed to talk about next, but I had to mention that. Grandpa Jin's arm is just missing, and they think he's been taken by Nox, and our boy PM straight up confirms... Yeah, no, there's definitely like a traitor in the midst. It's like, nani? That's crazy. Okay, now we gotta move on. We gotta talk about the second round, or the second fight of the first round. And I thought this was hella early. It's Jagel Tech versus John Jiguk versus Jagel Tech. I'm definitely pronouncing that wrong. Again, I feel like I'm butchering a beautiful language. I am sorry. Well, beautiful names, but same thing. I feel like I'm butchering these really nice names, and I'm not doing the show any disservice. But don't worry, I have a nickname for Jagel. This boy is Jaws. But why is he Jaws, JoJo? I will tell you, good folks. This man, this fight seemed hella early. I was like, man, we get into Jagel versus John? That seems kind of fast. Yeah, don't worry, the fight's even faster. John tries to use this, like, music-based attack, and I'm like, my boy's Mozart over here. Before he even finishes the do, re, mi, fa, sol, la thing, just a shark. Like, it's a shark. Like, I can't even, that's a shark. It's just a straight-up shark. Okay, I mean, we knew that this dude had like weird teeth thing from the last time we saw him, but that's a shark. That's just a shark. It's a straight up shark. Okay. Of all the things I expected to see, Jaws was not one of them. And it's brutal. Like, holy shit balls. It is brutal. Wow, it's nuts. And what's worse, and they really want you to hate this dude, even though he's voiced by Kenichiro Suda, which is like, how can you make me hate Suda? Like a character voiced by Suda is instantly goated. But then this guy turns out to be like a dick. Like, he like stomps on the maid and says like, women have no place here. And I'm like, bro, you sexist? What the fuck, man? Like, how are you gonna make a Suda character a piece of crap? Like, goddamn, really? And this dude is vicious, man. This man's so vicious, even Vicious from Bebop would be like, damn, dude, calm down. I've definitely made that joke before, but it fits here. And like, listen, man, this time, this time, I love that Mira says to Mo, like, listen, you can't interfere this time. And Mo's like, all right, but what about him? And she's like, oh God. And then Han just rightfully roundhouse kicks this dude right upside the face. And John tries to fight back. Like, he attempts to fight back with some lightning, and it's admirable. But the scream and tearing noises after the cut to black, yeah, man, it ain't looking so good for our friend here. It ain't looking so good for Jean. Yeah, is he dead? He seems dead. 'Cause like the scream plus the tearing noises, that ain't pretty, dog. Like, yikes. Now, there's only 4 minutes left on my timer, which tells me I'm definitely gonna be talking overtime here, but Now, one of the things that I love about making these videos, and to the point where I actually have been debating making like some side videos going over other character designs, is of course talking about design time. Design time is like one of my favorite things that we do here, and you guys are so cool. This goes beyond even Gotta High School. Like, you guys who watch the videos, who get excited for design time, genuinely, I just want to say thank you, because it makes my day. I love this stuff, and I have my notes here, got my notebook full of colors and symbolism and all that stuff, and we're gonna dig a little bit into some character designs. We're gonna start with Na. Our boy Na Gidan, which, goddamn, that's such a cool name. Na Gidan, this boy has some spiky orange hair, so let's go ahead and start with the hair. Now, orange is often, and I mean like often, associated with youthfulness, right? It's a very like youthful, optimistic, but also brash color. And that makes sense given that he's depicted as a bit of a Yankee. We even see this in like his bulky character design, right? Like, he's a bit of a heavy hitter, right? But we hear that he is like sort of like he was into daily scraps, and our boy Crazy Eyes got him out of that. And given his design, you can kind of tell almost immediately that he is like sort of Yankee tough. He's got like a bit of a goatee going on, the spiked up hair, and it's orange. Now, usually Yankee toughs have blonde hair, but the orange still works, as it does like indicate a youthfulness. Yankees typically are young people, right? So it does make a hell of a lot of sense. He's also got like the sharp eyes, sort of like Han, to indicate like a bit of a brawler type. I've noticed that a lot of the brawler types have the like sort of like sharp eyes. It's sort of hard to describe. And he's also rocking like a burgundy jacket. Now, it's a deeper red, right? So shades of red are typically indicated with like leadership roles, which unfortunately doesn't really fit here, because when you think about it, like, he's not the leader. If anything, Crazy Eyes is the leader. So my best guess is it's meant to show his confidence and strength. Red is also associated with strength, right? When you think of red, you think of like a powerful, strong color. Strength, power. There you go. He did steamroll our boy Mo, but that's also only because Mo kind of gave himself pressure points by accident. But yeah, like, I feel like Na's design is meant to indicate a strong, confident, Yankee type character, and that is the character that is depicted to us. Moving on, we got our boy Poom, Crazy Eyes himself, and this man is all sclera. This man is all sclera, just like he's all white. He's got all white eyes except for these little circles in the center where his pupil should be. So it's just all sclera and then pupil. Given that we have other people with irises, that design's kind of crazy, but it absolutely works for him. It gives him his crazy eyes. I don't think it was intentional, though. Like, this to me, I'm like, oh, those eyes are unfortunate. And I don't think that was an intentional decision on our boy Park's part, but it doesn't matter, because the rest of the outfit, I actually, like, at first I was like, this outfit doesn't really say a whole lot about him as a character. I was wrong. I was a fool. It absolutely does, right? Because I'm looking at it, I'm like, I don't get a lot from this character, right? Like, I don't really understand what they're going for with him until you get the flashback, and I'm like, oh, okay, now I get it. The short, slick back green hair, like, let's start with that, right? Green is a color of luck, but in this case, restoration. What is this man trying to do? He's trying to get his high school diploma after he gave up on it, and he's never gonna let himself give up. He is constantly restoring himself after every failure. Green hair. Bam, green, restoration. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. But what about the plain white tee? Well, let me tell you about the plain white tee. The plain white tee is actually kind of interesting. The plain white tee shows that he's no nonsense. No frills, is what it is. Plain white tee, it's as basic as they come, is what it is. And that seems to be, it is what it is. It is his mantra, right? Like, it is what it is. I'm gonna pick myself back up, and we're gonna go hit this challenge again head on. Plain white tee shows that he's a no-nonsense, unfrilled kind of dude, and he's a hard-working dude, too. We see that in the bulky frame. Like, this dude's got a big-ass bulky frame. The white tee is usually, like, again, like, no-frills kind of guy. We see him constantly working, and on top of that, paired with the hammer and the working style into his fights, like, as the working man fight style, you just get the sense that he's a hard-working dude who is trying his best to restore himself and get what he needs to get done. He's a dude who's not going to take no for an answer. You get that from the design. I was foolish to think otherwise. My God, Sung-Ho Park, what a genius. Now we got to talk about Jang Jang Mi. I love that name. I like these names. Jang Jang Mi, I love it. Red Mira. Now, I said Red Mira, and again, I'm not trying to diss my girl Jang. I'm just saying their fighting styles are very similar. And as I said, She has my favorite design of the show. This particular episode. My favorite design is probably Mo. Mo's probably got my favorite design. But Jang is a close one, man. Like, Jang's up there for some of my favorite designs in the show. You got the long red hair, right? Like, let's start with that. Now, again, as I said, red is typically associated with strength and confidence, but it can also be sort of able to represent desire, and I think that desire is kind of in the character, right? Because it's not just her red hair. Her eyes are red, too, and I do mean, like, red. Like, her eyes are red. The only thing not red in her eyes is the sclera. Her iris and her pupils are red. And so, like, I was trying to think, like, what is it about red that matches this character? What is it about the red that Park is trying to indicate with this character? And I thought, like, strength, maybe? I don't know. She's not as strong as Mira. Confidence? I don't know. She needed our boy to really kind of push that confidence out of her. So I don't know. Passion? Desire. That's where it is. This girl has a strong desire to become the best, you know? Like, she doesn't want to be a loser. She has a desire to win. And even though it's not gonna happen this go around, because of her friends, she's not gonna let that stop her. So that constant burning desire, that fire inside to win, that's what I think the red in her design is meant to symbolize. Because, man, there's a lot of red in her design, but there's also a lot of blue. She's wearing this sort of like long light blue shirt thing. I'm terrible with fashion. I know, I should know what that is. It's just a long, like, short sleeve shirt. Like, and I mean like long, like past, just where the thighs are. And then she's wearing this sort of like 3/4 sleeve blue shirt underneath. So light blue top, dark blue underneath, and she rocking some black leggings and black flats. Now, compare that to Mira, right? I love Mira's design. It's a little wonky, but I like it. You know, I really like it. By comparison, who looks like they are actually in a fight? Like, I love Mira, but that girl rocking a skirt to a fight, that's not wise. Whereas Jang actually looks like she's ready for a fight. Her clothes are like tight to the tight but not restrictive, right? They're close to the chest, but they're not like so tight that they're like constricting her. She's rocking the black flats so that she's able to get better footing, and she's rocking the black leggings because, you know, athletic. Jang looks like she's ready for a fight. Like, Red Mira is out here for a fight. And also, she's rocking, like, it's interesting, too. Again, like, she is Red Mira, right? Because she's even rocking glasses, too, but they're sharper than Mira's. She's a bit more edgy than Mira, you know what I'm saying? Like, she's a bit more on edge than Mira is. Mira's a lot more calm than Jang is. And I thought that was neat, that there's even represented in their glasses. My guess with the blue is just that Jang feels a responsibility to her team, right? Like, because we don't see her wearing blue outside of, in the flashbacks. We don't see her wearing blue. She wears blue once they become a team. And I feel like that blue is meant to indicate her sense of responsibility to her squad. And even though she fails, at the end of the day, they're just going to pick themselves up and they're going to try again maybe next year, right? And it's like, ah, that's good shit. I like that. Is there going to be it next year? I don't know, because I don't know where the story goes. But yeah, that's basically team hard working. And we're not even done the character designs yet. Let's talk about Suda's character. Let's talk about J-Gal Tech, who I have nicknamed Jaws, as I said, because, oh my god, he's Jaws. He's Jaws. Although, you know what? I will absolutely be accepting nicknames. If anybody comes up with a better nickname, you know, like, throw them out in the comments. I'll try to shout you out. If I like your name better, we'll stick with it. But yeah, J-Gal, this man, oh no, this design is dope. Like, this design like the sharp, like the spikiness of the hair on the top, like the sort of sharp edges, they kind of like inspire a shark without really like coming out and being a shark, you know, like in his hair, like at the top, like he got like the spikes, and yet his hair is long, right? Like, he just, everything about his vibe says shark before you even see a damn shark. And it's just like the way he is, like, you could just see meanness. The only thing missing is having all black eyes, like a doll's eyes. But yeah, this man screams shark to me. In fact, let's actually talk about his eyes to start, right? Now, you remember how I said that Jang also has red eyes? Well, Jay here, our boy J-Gal, Jay's actually not that bad. J-Gal Tech here, his eyes are not even as red as Jang, and yet they feel more red because it matches his character a little bit more. There's a danger and aggression in those eyes. The red irises just really indicate, like, this is a bad dude. This dude's got bad intentions. With Jang, it felt more fiery. With this man, it doesn't feel fiery. It feels scary. Like, he's out here to cause harm. You know what I'm saying? He's out here to cause a ruckus. And cause a ruckus he most certainly does. But that's it. It's not just red. Again, much like Jang, the colors are similar, but they're indicating different shit, right? Jang had a blue outfit, my man got blue hair. And the blue hair, it starts light blue and then it sinks into a deeper shade of blue, like a much darker shade of blue. And in this case, that blueness, I almost think it's like, it's not, like the blue is interesting, right? Because blue, I'm not sure what they're trying to say with blue, because blue is typically like a passive color. It's, or like a responsible color, depending on like the nature in which it's used. But I don't see responsibility here. My best guess is it's meant to show how secure he feels. This the blue is typically associated with security, given like like when you think blue, you typically think of like police officers, security guards, stuff like that. Like blue suits, you know, you typically think of authority figures. So that sense of security, like that could be it. Like the idea that he is so secure in himself that he just is constantly secure, right? Like his hair is blue, he's constantly secure. That could be it. But I don't know. This one, I'll admit, I'm stuck. Even the uniform, man. Like this dude rocking like a school uniform-esque thing, maybe just to show us, yes, believe it or not, this badass unstoppable beast is a he's a schooler. He's a high schooler. This fool is in high school, goddammit, and he could wreck your shit. I don't know if maybe that's what it's meant to symbolize, like just the idea that's like, yeah, he actually is a high schooler. They had to emphasize that for my boy Crazy Eyes. But with Jaws here, he just, like, they have to show you. Like, they have to be like, nah, it's in his design. He, believe it or not, he actually is in high school. Because this dude's scary, man. Everything about this design fits the character. It is scary. And finally, let's talk about John. This poor boy. I don't even want to call him my boy, because I don't want to have those emotions, because I don't know if he's even alive. But we gotta talk about him, because he felt sort of important. You know what I mean? Like, they kind of, like, gassed him up a bit last week, so I figured he was gonna be important. And like I said, I thought it was really early for this fight. But goddamn, man, like, it is vicious what happened to him. But we gotta talk about his design. So my boy's got rocking some medium-length green hair, some brown irises, and a white long-sleeve type of, like, I guess it's a jacket? I don't know, like a white long sleeve with some red trimming. Let's start with the green hair. Now, green, as I said, restoration, luck, but it can also sort of represent an inexperience, right? You know how some people say, like, he's a greenhorn. That means basically, like, he's new. And I'm not saying that he's new, I'm just saying that maybe he was not prepared for this kind of fight. You know what I mean? That green may be indicating, like, he's not prepared for the brutalness that is about to befall him. Especially if the character is only here to show up for this one fight. Again, if he is dead, the green hair is a good pick, because it also indicates, like, inexperience, was not prepared for the situation. I kind of hope he's not, because again, I thought his friggin' power was dope, like the music thing. I'm like, oh, this is sick. I hope he's still around. The brown irises, though, that's an interesting one. Brown is sort of there to show, like, simplicity, right? Brown is very sort of like dull color. It, like, and before anybody gets upset, if your favorite color is brown, first of all, really? Second of all, don't worry, because you're in good company. I like earthy tones, right? So I like brown. It's not my favorite, but I like brown, so you're in good company. I'm just saying, by traditional standards, brown indicates, like, earthy tones, sort of like there's a reliability to brown, you know? It's a basic color. It's always going to be there. It's reliable, but it's also sort of dull and boring and a bit predictable. And I think that's maybe in the eyes, right? Like, he was going to, like, in his eyes, there's a sense of, like, this sort of simplicity to him, right? He's a basic type character. He's there to defend his family's company. He's there to defend his family's owner. Maybe that's what they're trying to indicate with the brown eyes. Bit simple, right? And before anybody gets upset, if you have brown eyes, don't worry, so do I. I'm not dissing brown eyes. I'm just saying. That might be what they're trying to say with the character. And the easiest part of his design to pick out is, oh my god, the white jacket is so clearly meant to represent the fact that this dude is a pure little rabbit. White often represents innocence and clarity and purity. And my god, this poor innocent little dude, this poor guy. Now again, in any other situation, this dude would be really hella strong, right? He's able to use borrowed power, but in this case, poor sweet child. Like, I think that's what they were trying to say with the jacket, right? He's innocent, he's hopeful, but the red trimming to show, like, that underlying drive, that passion to promote his the company that his family represents. Yeah, but it doesn't quite go his way, does it? But with that said, everyone, that is actually all of my thoughts on this week's episode of God of High School. Well, most of them. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, then don't forget to boop that up snoot and share if you care. And of course, as always, I have to give a big thank you to the good folks in the T Squadron. Look at these beautiful people. Look at all these beautiful names. Look at these beautiful individuals. Don't you want to join these beautiful individuals? Well, don't worry, you can by checking out that first link in the description to check out our Patreon page. Just for less than a single cup of coffee a month, just a single $1, you can join the T Squadron. You can join these beautiful folks on your screen right now. And hey, if you choose to do so, that is super appreciated. And once again, a big thank you to the T Squadron. But with that said, everybody, that's gonna wrap up all my thoughts. I'm gonna go make another cup of tea to heal this voice up. And until next time, you stay classy, AndyTube, and wash your dang hands.